Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday morning. I wanted to start off this secret TBR video earlier. I wanted to start it Friday, but Friday got a bit too hectic for me, so I'm starting it today. So hello. Hope you're having a good Easter break so far. I know I am, except for yesterday because I had to work and it was busy. But yeah, I had a good time nonetheless. There's not going to be a normal weekend reading vlog like I usually have them. This is going to be a secret TBR video. I haven't even done my April TBR. I wanted to do it today, but I thought, no way, I'm doing that one Monday. So, the secret TBR video, I'm going to be reading 3 popular YA series. I'm not going to read the whole series, just the first book in the series. I'm not going to say what the other 2 books are, but the first one I'm reading, I read the prologue of it, and then I went to sleep because I was dead tired. And the first book I'm going to be reading is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I'll tell you a little bit about it tonight because I just can't think off the top of my head. All I can say, like, summarize is a woman, Alina, she has these magical abilities which she didn't even realize she had, and something to do with the military, the Grisha, which is like the magical military in the world of, name I can't remember, and she realizes she has this power that she didn't, like this ancient power, and there's this like bad place called the Shadowfold, which is where all like creatures and stuff are, and she meets the Darkling, and he is going to, like, I don't want to say train her, but he's going to try and use her, or like maybe manipulate her or something to use her power to destroy the Shadowfold. I was kind of going off the synopsis of it from the TV show because I'm reading it also to prepare for the TV show, and the TV show looks amazing. It looks so good. I'm really excited to see it, not read it. But yeah, read the book and see the show. I ended up sleeping in really late, like 10:30ish this morning. I needed it. I needed a big sleep in. So today I'm going to try and read as much as possible. Hopefully get the book done by Sunday or Monday. Probably Monday. That's okay if I get it done by Monday. That doesn't bother me. As long as I get like good chunks of it done on the weekend. So I'm going to probably chill out now. I might read in the afternoon and I'll catch up with you in the afternoon when I read a bit more. Hi, it is Monday and I got no reading done over the weekend. I had a good Easter, had a really good weekend, just did nothing, watched all the Jurassic Park movies and the Jurassic World movies, so marathons of that. And it was good just to have a break because you need that break in between reading, because if you're just reading constantly and you're not having breaks in between, my dog's playing footsie with me. Anyway, if you don't have that break in between, you're going to burn out and you're going to feel like pressure. So I'm happy that I did have that bit of a break, and now I'm ready to get into it. I'm still on chapter 1. Haven't even started chapter 1, to be honest. I've only still read the prologue. I don't need to reread the prologue because I still remember it, and I will drop in again tonight. I just wanted to drop in and say hi, to not get any reading done. That's all I really had to say. Now I want to read a little bit more, and then I will, like I said, I'll drop back in tonight to give you an update. So I'll see you then. And we are back in my familiar spot in my bedroom. And I've read a little bit more of Shadow and Bone while I was waiting for, oh my god, there we go. While I was waiting for dinner to get ready, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I like Alina so far. She's very strong, doesn't take crap from anyone. We're not getting too much about the world and about the Grisha. It seems like the Grisha, there's like different groups of Grisha, and it seems like they each have their own abilities or their own power, which is very interesting. We don't know too much about it. Like, it's the one thing I've noticed about it is that it's not info dumpy. Like, a whole bunch of info is not like splattered in your face. You only get to know the abilities of the Grisha and the world when, like, as Alina is learning more about it, or when us as the readers, like, are allowed to know about it, when the author wants us to know about certain things. That's just what it seems like to me at this present moment. This is my first time reading it, so I could be completely wrong, and it could, well, I would expect for it to develop. And the relationship between Mel and Alina, I almost forgot her name. The relationship between Mel and Alina, I like it so far. They definitely have chemistry. And I had a bit of a feeling that she had a bit of a crush on Mel, and I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. I'm up to the part where she was in the Shadowfold to map out, because Alina's like a assistant cartographer, so she like copies maps and everything of the surroundings of, oh my god, what is the place where she lives in? I can't remember. Anyway, where she lives in the place where she lives. And I believe, if I'm getting this correctly, she and a whole group of other people enter the Shadowfold to try and map out as much as they possibly can about the Shadowfold so they can know and learn more about it. Because the Shadowfold is like one big mystery. All they know is that there's Volcra, which are like these winged beasts that kill people, basically. I'm up to the part where she's in the tent with the Darkling. Like, we would have seen it if you've seen the teaser trailer or the trailer for the show. Like, this isn't a spoiler at all, because, you know, we saw it in the teaser trailer or the trailer for the show. So up to the part, well, I'm up to the part where Alina is face to face with a Darkling and they're trying to figure out who she is and what happened. Because obviously you go into the Shadowfold, you're going to get attacked. And the Grisha seem like a bunch of snobbish assholes. Like, they don't seem to be nice people. They think very high of themselves. There's this one chick, she's like the blue Grisha, like the Grisha that wears the blue, the one that had googly eyes over Mel when she rolled in on her carriage, like earlier on before they went into the Shadowfold. And there probably is a little bit of jealousy there because Mel is seen to be as like a really handsome man that gets all the ladies' attention and stuff like that. I'm going to continue reading, and I will probably catch up with you before I go to bed, so I'll see you then. 'Tis not later on, I just remembered what I had to say now. So I really see myself a little bit in Alina, with the fact that, you know, like, she's had what some people would consider friends, like she would consider friends, but they only just really needed her for the sake of getting closer to someone. I like Alina, and I think the more I read and the more progress I make in this book, I think the more I will enjoy her and the more I will like her. And the place where they are in is Ravka, and it is Russian inspired as well, which is very fascinating because I've never really read anything Russian inspired. Russian folklore, is it? I don't remember, but I know it's Russian inspired. And it's also first person narrative. You don't really get a lot of first person narratives in fantasy, so I really enjoy that. First person narrative is my preferred narrative to read from. I do enjoy third person. I do. It is probably my second favorite, and I have not read too much from the second perspective apart from You, like by Caroline Kepnes, and The Night Circus. And I'm going to continue reading, and I'll definitely catch up with you later on before I go to bed. And I'm going to have to go to bed earlier, probably. I'll see how that goes, because I have to take my car to the mechanic and I have to get up earlier to make sure my car gets in earlier so that I can get it back earlier. So, yeah, that's it for me, and I'll catch up with you later on. Look at this little precious. She likes to curl up under my sheets. Look at this. Look at this. Hey, darling. Baba.
You want to say hello?
Okay, I am back for the last checkup. It's like check-in, but anyway. I'm up to chapter 11. It's getting good so far. There's a bit of a mystery surrounding Alina, because when when young kids discover that they have the abilities of a Grisha, they are transported to Os Alta, which is a city where your governors and your Grishas, it's where they are, and they have a school there. They have a school there that teaches the young Grisha children how to use their abilities, and they train to either go to the Shadowfold and fight at the Shadowfold, or go to the families, or stay and be an assistant to the Darkling. She had the test when she was a kid, but it seems like it was kind of hidden from her, and I wonder why. There's that whole mystery surrounding that, and it's intriguing me. I'm really liking it so far. She is doing training like the kids would have, well, like she would have as well, if she had been noticed that she had like a Grisha ability in the first place. And she's doing that. She's struggling hard, poor thing. I feel her. That would be me if I were in that situation. I'd be confused as heck. I'd be no good at the physical aspects of everything. There's definitely a divide between the Grisha. Like each Grisha, you have your etherealki, your corporalki, and then your materialki. So there's all of those people. And then out of those three, there's like different levels, or different levels, different factions, I guess you could say, of Grisha. And it's all very interesting and very fascinating. Alina is the only one of her kind, though. She felt like an outcast and an outsider from before she knew she had the Grisha ability, and she feels even more like an outcast now. And I really am enjoying it so far. The chapters are nice and short, like I can easily get this done tomorrow. Nice, short, punchy, straight to the point. I actually don't mind fast-paced books, especially when they can give you... I'm always in awe when an author can describe things so well and make you feel things in such a short book, and like such short chapters, because I'm used to reading books with long chapters and I'm used to reading longer books. It always amazes me how authors can like cram so much detail, I guess you could say, in a book. I actually wonder, it's just, the more I'm reading it, the more I'm wondering, how did the Darkling know that Alina has the gift of a Grisha? Like, she's been called the Sun Summoner. And I'm curious to see, or I'm just curious to know how he would know that so quickly. The Grisha get treated differently as well, going back to the Grisha, they get treated differently based on which continent or which country they live in. So they get treated better in Ravka. So Ravka is the continental country where what's her name? Alina used to live in Kriabirsk, and then there's the Fjerda, and then there's Shuhan. So there's different countries, different continents, I guess you could say, and they each treat the Grisha horribly, like they either burn them as witches or they like have them as slaves. And they treated very, very well in Ravka. Even the servants in the little palace, which is where Alina is, like even the servants get treated like crap by the Grisha. Like, bitch, you could have had a shit life when you're treating someone worse than you. Like, ugh, can't stand that. No, I definitely still feel a connection, like a bit of relatability with Alina, and I'm really liking her so far. I actually do want to try and get to sleep now. I do say try, I don't know if I ever will, because this book is really captivating me, and I can definitely see the hype surrounding it, and I'm curious to see where it's going to go, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Good morning. It is Tuesday, and this is the weather. That's what the weather looks like. Such a beautiful day. It really is. I miss the blue skies. I miss the sun. In the previous reading vlog, I had said that it looks like we were going to be getting rain, like a late monsoonal trough. That was down south in New South Wales. It was horrible. Looking at it on the news, it was not good at all. I really feel for them because we had something similar to them in 2019 in February. Like, where I live, in the city where I live, we were fine in like the suburb. But seeing everyone else's homes get inundated with flood water and houses getting destroyed and stuff like that, it was not a pleasant looking experience. And yeah, I got quite a bit of reading done last night. Still up to page 11 now. The chapters are nice and short. This is for Shadow and Bone I'm talking about. Chapters are nice and short, and they're quick, they're punchy. One thing about fantasy is that I'm used to the fantasy novels that I'm used to reading. They are usually like longer chaptered, longer, bigger books. They're full of detail, full of world building. I'm not saying Shadow and Bone isn't, because I'm impressed with the amount of detail that we're getting with it. Like, I can see it, like, I can see the world clearly. Yeah, it's just very, like I said last night, I'm always in awe of when authors can write short books and yet still have great world building, great attention to detail in their worlds, like, and that can put so much detail into their characters and the history of the world and like the magic systems, I guess you could say, within a short book and even within short chapters. And I can definitely get it done tonight, which is very good because then I can get started on another book. Yes, I had to take my car to the mechanic. I slept in a little bit. I had my alarm on for 7:15 just to like get up earlier and get myself moving and stuff like that, but my brain must have thought it was like 8 o'clock because I turned the snooze button on, like, no, I'm not getting up, no, too early. And then I heard a big clatter, bang, crash, and I was like, oh my god, jumping out of my skin, what the hell is that? And then I realized, oh my god, I have to go to the mechanic. And this was at like 7:40, 7:50. So I was like, oh shit. But it's okay. I ended up getting there still at a pretty good time because I don't live too far away from the mechanic. So that's where my car is. They'll phone me when it's ready. I just plan on being pretty chill today. I want to do some video prep work for the videos I want to do tomorrow and Friday, hopefully. Then reading, obviously. And then more reading later on tonight. So I will catch you up. I'll pop in and give you an update when I get back to reading. Say hello, Maggie. Say hello. Look at you. Okay, it is Tuesday evening and I'm, well, in my bedroom, obviously. Where else would I be? And I plan on finishing off Shadow and Bone tonight. It can be done. I read a little bit more this afternoon. A reveal happened. I kind of had a funny feeling that something along those lines would have happened, but it didn't happen the way I thought it was going to go, even though it did happen. And also, like, a cliche typical thing in YA. I'm learning about YA. And I kind of expected that to happen as well. Wasn't complaining. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm nearly done. I can get it done tonight. And I will update you when I have finished. Hopefully, I might do another one, but I want to try and finish it off and then give you an update when I have finished it. So I'm going to go and dive back into the Grisha universe. So I will be back. Look at her. She's just burying her nose in the cover. You're so beautiful. You darling. You're so beautiful. Hmm? Yeah? Like I said I would, I have finished Shadow and Bone, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it was fast-paced. I don't want to say too much about it because I do want to do like a review video for these 3 books I'm going to be reading, but I really enjoyed it. Alina is stronger than she thinks. It was fast-paced, the chapters are nice and short, so I got through it pretty quickly. The characters are good, I like the characters. I like Jenya, the servant. I really like her. I think she was a really good match for Alina. Oh my god, just that ending. I just can't think of words at the moment because that ending, like the last 50-ish or so pages, like the last 4 or 5 chapters I want to say, were so fast, so action-packed. It was unbelievable. And I really like who she ended up with. I was hoping that we would see Mal again, because it's no spoiler, we saw in the TV show that she gets taken away from him basically. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I did have some little nitpicky things, but they're just my preference. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I'm thinking of anywhere between a 4 to 4.5 stars, but it's definitely 4 because I really like it and I'm very intrigued to see what is going to happen. I kind of want to read the second one now, but I know I have other books to read. I definitely want to finish this series this year because I really enjoyed it that much. I'm going to go to sleep now because it's nearly midnight, and I will see you tomorrow where I will tell you the next book I'm going to be reading. Hello, it is Wednesday afternoon, 2:25. I'm uploading a video, and I'm about to, like, while this video is uploading onto YouTube, I am going to be reading a new book for this reading vlog, and that is Throne of Glass by J Maas. This is one of those hyped books, like incredibly hyped books, where I was a little hesitant. Like, I have a feeling I will like it, and blah blah blah, I can't talk. I have a feeling that I am going to, like, either really enjoy or really love J Maas's writing and her worlds and her books. I feel like everyone knows what Throne of Glass is, but I'll just give a quick little summary anyway. Selena Sardothian is an assassin. She's like the best of her kind or something like that. She's a held prisoner. She made the mistake of being caught, and she's been held prisoner in a dungeon, obviously, in a cell, like a prison cell in Andovia, I think it is. Like, the king has struck a deal with her. Like, the king or the prince, like the heir to the throne or whatever, has struck a deal with her. In order for her freedom, she has to battle or champion the king. Not champion the king, but, like, be the king's champion or whatever, and fight the best thieves and assassins in the world. Like, in the world of Throne of Glass. And if she can do that, and if she can defeat them, she will be free. That's kind of basically what it is, I'm pretty sure. Actually, I will have a quick look at that. I'll be back. So yeah, I was kind of right in a way. She has to represent the prince and a to the death tournament of fighting the most gifted thieves and assassins in the land. So it doesn't matter, like, if she lives or dies, she is going to try to be free, and she's going to be free no matter what. I've heard a lot of mixed things about J Maas. I've heard positives, I've heard negatives. I don't know where I fall. And, like, the books have always intrigued me, and I'm very curious to see which camp I fall into. I've heard that her books are a little bit problematic because there's not enough diversity in them. Like, I'm not the kind of reader that looks for those things actively in books, and then when I find them, I will speak negatively on them. Like, if I find, like, little negatives or something, I will talk about it. It's just it won't really affect me overall. Like, of course I want to read more diversely, and I will. I do have books with diverse characters and diverse authors, so I am going to be reading that, but I don't want to, like, limit myself. I read for the sake of reading. I'm not that much of a critical reader. So if I skip or if I forget like trigger warnings, I apologize for that. I really do. Whenever I've been in like the bookshop and I walk down like the fantasy aisle, because her books are in the adult fantasy side, they're not in the young adult side, because the one I like the most, there's YA this side, and then across, like you turn around across the aisle or whatever, and behind that, or no, across from each other is the adult fantasy sci-fi. Her books are in the adult area, and I've heard a lot of people say that her books belong there. I've also heard Throne of Glass is a bit of a weaker one. It's a bit of a rough start, of course, with debuts. They are going to be a bit rough with it until they like find their voice and get used to the idea of writing in the world and yada da. But no, I've always been curious and intrigued by Sarah J Maas. I'll say you could either start off with Throne of Glass or A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm going to start off with this one, because the way I see it, if the debut is like said to be not good, then it can only get better from there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and get some reading done while I wait for this video to upload. So I will give you another update tonight, or well, when I read enough for me to give you my thoughts. Okay, I am in bed. I'm up to chapter 9 in Throne of Glass, and so far I am enjoying it. Selena seems like a very sarcastic person again. 2 sarcastic characters that I'm reading in a row. It's turning out to be a pretty good reading vlog, I can tell you that. And one thing I really like that we don't really get to see much with female characters in fantasy, or just in books in general, I guess you could say. Like, Selena's tough. She's always thinking of ways to kill someone, and she's an assassin, meaning like she's violent and always observant and stuff like that. She's very observant, but she also likes dresses and fashion. I really like that contrast, showing that you can be like tough and wield a sword and still be a girly girl, I guess you could say. So I really liked that. I'm hoping we get to see her use her assassin abilities in the trial that she has to do to become a champion to the prince. I like the world building. The world building is a little, well, I feel the world building is better than Shadow and Bone. Oh my god, I read the scene where there's this like big massive library with 1 million books. I just love that whole scene. I ended up saving it for later reading, and just, yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Kale, he seems like a very sweet guy. I don't know, I could be completely wrong. I don't want to say too much about the characters, because I've heard people say don't get attached to the characters, especially when it comes to like romantic ships, because apparently Sarah J Maas, the author, she changes the relationships a lot. So I'm not going to say who I want her to be with just yet. I like her relationship with her and her overseer, or her guard, Kale. Oh, we're also getting like another point of view, and it's in third person narrative, which is fine for me. I really enjoy third person narrative. Obviously the books are mainly going to be in Selena Sardothian's like point of view, but we also get one from Dorian, who was the Prince of Ardalan. And that one is mysterious. That one's intriguing. It seems like he wants Selena for something else other than to just be a champion. So I'm very curious to see. That's a bit mysterious. But so far it's so good. I'm flying through the chapters. Yeah, I'm hoping to get this done Thursday or Friday. Maybe not Thursday, probably Friday. Doing good so far. I'm quite impressed. So another thing I've noticed as well with Throne of Glass, it obviously seems like that there was magic in the world, but ever since Ardalan and the King of Ardalan, he ended up burning all the books. He ended up killing like all the fae, all the fairies, but apparently it was rumored that the fae and the fairies, they ended up moving to like the wilderness, like away from civilization to protect their species. Just curious to see why the king burnt down the trees that were full of magic and burnt all the books based on magic and that were about magic and history, and I want to know why that happened. Yeah, it's all very interesting. A lot of world building in here. I'm really enjoying the world building in this. There's a lot of references to our history with slavery and how black people or African people were slaves back then, and this is similar in Game of Thrones, so that's interesting, that little bit of tidbit. How Celaena hated the fact of leaving those slaves back when she was in Endovia to do this champion, like to become the champion and do this trial, and she hated leaving them. Like, it does seem to recall a little bit of our own history with all that slavery. And Celaena is talking to Princess Nehemia in Princess Nehemia's own language, which is like a nice little surprise to see from Celaena. Yeah, I'll read more and probably get back to you. I'm back. What I was trying to say before is that it's good to see that someone hates slavery, because slavery is disgusting, shouldn't have happened, and it's good to see that portrayed as well. The portrayal of, not the portrayal of slavery, because that's not good, but it's good to see a character stand against it. Let me see if I can say something again. Okay, so Ardalan ended up burning the country of, or the city of Eelway, I'm presuming is how it's called. And it says they just burned the libraries whole, along with the museums and universities. A familiar ache filled her chest. Celaena nodded. Eelway wasn't the only country where that happened. Ymir is there to learn the language and the customs of Ardalan, but she hates that idea. Yeah, she has every right to hate it, especially after what Ardalan did to her people, what they did to her, and her city, and the history, and just like erasing history, basically, and erasing the people of Eelway's rights to learn about the history in museums and read about the history in libraries and to learn about their history and to be taught stuff in universities. I mean, it's not right. So I really like that, because it adds a sense of reality to kind of what is happening in our world, in us, the reader's world, in modern society. So I really like that about it. It's not right, and Celaena knows that. It's just good to see that reflected. It adds a little bit of realism, I guess you could say. Anyway, I'm going to go back to reading now, so I'll probably do another update tonight before I hit my head on the pillow and fall asleep. So it's not time for me to hit my head on the pillow and fall asleep, but I've noticed, like I said before, where there's obviously there's going to be multiple points of view, and it being in third person, we got a point of view from Dorian, and now we got a point of view from Kale. It's kind of jarring a little bit, because I'm so used to being in Celaena's head that when it ends up going to another character, I have to read back again, and then I'm like, oh right, this is this character's head we're in now. Not a bad thing. I enjoy it. It's just I have to get myself used to it. And oh my god, there is some mystery happening, and it's annoying me because I don't know what it is. Hello, it is Thursday. I've done a little bit of prep work for a video I want to do tomorrow, and I'm back into reading Throne of Glass. I can't remember if I mentioned this last night. I think I have, but I can't remember. If I did, then you're going to hear me talk about it again, and if I haven't, I'm going to say it. There's a bit of a murder mystery happening. Someone is killing off the champions, because like I said, the champions have to do a test to become to become the assassin for the king. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, because it's not slow at all. This is definitely fantasy. This is the fantasy I've been kind of waiting for in a way with young adult. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's really good. I like the characters, like, of Kale and Dorian. I don't know who I like more. I reckon they both have a crush on Selena, I really do. There are moments whenever I read a book, it's like, ooh, is this going to be like a 4-star read? Is this going to be a 5-star read? And I used to be a reader where I just used to read and whatever it is, it is. Like, I'm not making sense with what I'm saying, but I know I'm enjoying it, and I have to get it into my mind to give it a star rating after I read it, the book, not during reading the book. I'm not making sense with that part, but in my mind I am, so I'll get back to reading right now. Take 2 to what I was trying to say before. My problem I'm starting to realize since I've been reading a lot more is that, yes, I'm reading and I'm enjoying it, but I'm thinking too much about what my rating system is going to be, or what the overall rating will be when I finish the book, and I'm not, like, allowing myself to enjoy it. I'm not that much of a critical reviewer, or a critical reader, I should say. I read purely for enjoyment. If there are things that, like, not tick me off, but if there are things that I find are, like, little negatives, little things I don't like, I will say it. But I purely read for entertainment and enjoyment. And I have to try and get back into that mental state of reading for enjoyment instead of for being critical, you know what I'm trying to say? So that's basically what I was trying to say before. It is Friday afternoon, and Throne of Glass has to have one of the most intense love triangles I think I have ever read in a book. Holy crap, I don't know who I want Selena to end up with. I don't know who's gonna end up with. I don't know, man, it's so intense. I'm up to the ball scene with J Maas. If you know the scene, you know the scene. And yeah, I can definitely get it done tonight, which is good, so then I can watch something on the weekend, because I have something lined up to watch, and then read another book for this vlog. Look, this is going to be a bit ranty, so I'm just going to say it. I think my problem with Throne of Glass is I'm thinking too much of what people say, or what people have said about the book, because I am so enjoying this. It's really good. I'm hoping that the books will get better as they go on. I've heard the first one is, like, the weakest, and I'm trying my hardest not to think about all the comments that people have said about this book. All I know is my enjoyment. I'm enjoying it, and that's really all that matters. So I'm going to read on. My heart is absolutely hammering. I'm up to the part where it's the final duel to see who's going to be the champion to the king, for the king or whatever. Oh my god, Caltaine is a bitch, and I don't like her at all. And oh my god, my heart is hammering on my chest. I don't want to read, but I want to know what's going to happen. I need to find out what's going to happen. So I have to put on my big girl pants and read the damn chapter. Just finished Throne of Glass, and oh my god, it was so good! Why have I not read this book before? Why has it taken me this long to read the book? Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. I have a feeling the rating will be a little bit higher than Shadow and Bone. Shadow and Bone was still good, but I just liked this one a bit more better. The world building was incredible. Love the world building. The relationships between the characters, oh my god. I'm not kidding you when I say that is the most intense, yet confusing in a way, like, love triangle I think I've ever read from in a book, and I don't really read that many love triangles, but oh god dang it, that was so good. So good. I did have some problems with the book, not anything negative against the book. It was just me. Like, I think I was focusing too much on some of the negatives that people were saying and trying to nitpick at it instead of just reading for the sake of enjoyment, which is what I mainly do. And yeah, I'm so excited for the rest of the series. I'm excited for Court of Thorns and Roses series. I'm excited for the Crescent City or the House of Blood and Earth series, whatever that series is called. I'm excited to get more into this world. I'll update you tomorrow about the next book I'm going to be reading, but I'm having a feeling I'm going to enjoy the next one, and look, I'm excited. I really am. Hello, Sunday morning. I got little to no reading done last night, or yesterday at all. It was pretty busy, had to work, and then I went for a barbecue at my cousin's house, auntie, uncle's house, and yeah, it was fun. It was a really great time last night. I was really tired coming back, a little sleepy from work, and then the barbecue. Yeah, I got little to no reading done. The third and final book I'm going to be reading for this reading vlog is Scythe by Schusterman. It's I don't know if it's like a sci-fi. Well, it seems like sci-fi, but I don't think it's fantasy. So it's like a young adult science fiction dystopian novel. And it follows, the world has defeated disease, war, poverty, all that kind of stuff. And now people have become immortal. Citra and Rowan, two teenagers, have been selected as apprentice to the Scythe, like a Scythe's apprentice. And they both want nothing to do with it, but yet they have to learn the art of killing someone to understand the necessity of what they do. Because since the world and in this world, in this book, have defeated death, so everyone's immortal basically, they have to keep the population down, and that's what scythes are. Only one of them will be chosen as a scythe's apprentice, and as Citra and Rowan come up against a terrifyingly corrupt scythedom, it becomes clear that the winning apprentice's first task will be to glean the loser. And they don't use the word kill, they use the word glean. I actually read that little diary entry. That was the only thing I read, and I just could not concentrate anything else because I was so tired. Yeah, that's the last book I'm going to be reading for this reading vlog, and I will update you probably this afternoon, tonight. I don't know, but you will see me for better thoughts for when I get into reading this book. I am in my bedroom. It's around 7:30ish, I think. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's roughly 7:30, and I am in my bedroom way early, but I don't care because the aircon in the living room area broke, and yeah, it's even though it's autumn where I live, there's only one season basically that we have where I live, and that's just summer, and it's hot. It's so hot out there, and yeah, that's why I'm in here, and who knows how long it's going to take for the aircon out in the living room to get fixed, and I'm not happy. But anyway, yeah, I'm 47, roughly 50 pages into Scythe by Schusterman, and so far it is starting off so strong. There's really good social commentary. Straight off the bat, there's already some really good strong quotes. I really like the journal entries. So scythes have to have journal entries, as a way to communicate their feelings, basically just to show other people in society that, they're still human, they still have feelings and all that kind of stuff. It takes place in a futuristic world. I know the year 2047 was when people on this earth, that they conquered death and war and disease and famine and crimes and stuff like that. And yeah, it's so strong so far. I'm loving it. I don't want to get my hopes up, so I'm going to try and keep the excitement level down a little bit, but yeah, it's really good so far, and I'm going to continue on reading. I'll update you later on tonight. It's not later on, but I have a bit of a question, a bit of a theory. Well, not really a theory because I don't know who it is, but I have a bit of a suspicion, I guess. I wonder if, remember I told you how we get journal entries after before the beginning of the next chapter, and at the bottom of it sincerely potato head or something like that. I can't think of a word, I just thought of potato head. And And like it says at the bottom, like, you know how it said, like, yours sincerely, like, Maggie, like my dog, for example. Well, it says at the bottom, from the Gleaning Journal of H.S. Curie. So, the Scythe that's mentoring Citra and Rowan, Honorable Scythe Faraday, he ended up, getting the name because he was, like, one of the best philosophers or something like that. So, H.S., Honorable Scythe, I think that's what the H stands for. I mean, the S stands for, not the H. Curie. I wonder who it is. It's between Citra and Rowan. I'm curious to know who it is. Okay, so we know who the journal entries are written from, who they were written from, and it's not from Citra or Rowan. It's actually a Scythe from years and years ago, and so that's been debunked. Okay, I'm gonna stop it about there now. I'm about 150 pages into Scythe and I'm loving it so much. We're getting a lot of politics in this as well. Well, not a lot like A Song of Ice and Fire, but the politics in it are still there. And we're getting, you know those journal entries I was talking about? We're getting one from Curie, and then we're also getting one from Goddard. If you've read the book, you will know who I'm talking about. We're getting the good and the bad, and like the new wave of Scythes that Goddard wants. Loving the writing. Out of the two books, out of Throne and Glass and Shadow and Bone, I think the writing here is a bit more stronger in Scythe. There was a bit of a plot twist. There was one thing that I forgot about because I was so absorbed in the story that I had forgotten about an element in the plot, in the synopsis of what about the plot of the book is what I'm trying to say. And it's making things really sticky. It's like, oh, it's just gonna make things harder for Citra and Rowan. I just want to see how it turns out. Who is going to, like, become a Scythe, you know, like, dang it, I want to keep reading and reading and reading, but I shouldn't because I'll be here until 2-3 in the morning and I need my sleep. So I'm gonna leave it here. I will update you tomorrow when I read more, and good night. She fits so perfectly in this chair. Don't you, darling? Hey? Wanna say hello? Am I interrupting you, am I? It's okay, we'll snuggle up soon. Okay, so I'm gonna get back into reading. I've nearly read like around 30 pages this afternoon. And oh my god, the twists and turns in this book is just ridiculous. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I really don't. And I better get back into it. So I'm gonna go and do that now, and I will give you an update later on. So I'm nearly finished Scythe by Neil Schusterman, and there's this quote that, well, first of all, I'm gonna read to you about it. You just lack perspective. The predator is always a monster to the prey. To the gazelle, the lion is a demon. To a mouse, the eagle is evil incarnate. And that quote reminds me from also a similar-ish quote in Jurassic World where Dr. Henry Wu talks to the owner or the manager or whatever of Jurassic World, whose name I can't bloody remember. So when okay, I just looked up who it is. When Dr. Henry Wu talks to Masrani about when the Indominus Rex and how evil it is and how much Mr. Masrani, he couldn't believe that Henry Wu would create such a monster like that. And like Henry Wu said, well, you were the one that asked for more teeth, and Masrani said, I didn't ask for a monster. And basically Dr. Wu ended up saying to a canary, a cat is a monster, or something like that, and we're just too used to being the prey. That's what that quote that I read to you from Scythe reminds me of. And, ooh, damn, isn't it so true? We're too used to being like the top dogs and shit. Even though I just realized that quote is not really what it means, but it just, the quote in Scythe just reminds me of that quote from Jurassic World. And yeah, nearly done. I'm very happy that I'm nearly done, because then I want to start reading You Love Me by Caroline Kepnes, the third book in the You series. So I'm going to do that now, and I will be back with another update very soon. I just realized I forgot to tell you that I finished Scythe by Neil Schusterman, and it was good. It was really, really, really good. Twists and turns and like things that left me not gasping, but like I was not expecting that, you know, like twists and turns. Really good character analysis, I guess you could say. I don't want to say too much because I do want to do a review about it, but yeah, it was really good. And that brings us to the end of the vlog. I hope you have all enjoyed. I know. It was an incredible success, this reading vlog, reading very popular YA series. If I were to say which one was my favorite, I would have to say Scythe. Just the themes it has about humanity and just like the thought-provoking themes in this book, I really enjoyed. And the second favorite would have to be Throne of Glass by J Maas. And the third favorite, well, not the least favorite, but it is still a damn good book, and that is Shadow and Bone. I definitely want to continue with the series, and the good thing is that they are all completed series. So I can hopefully I can squeeze in the sequels with other books I want to read. If I were to read the sequels, Shadow and Bone and Scythe are high up on the list. I do have an interest in Throne of Glass. It's just the way that Shadow and Bone and Scythe ended really intrigued me for what's going to happen in the the rest of the series. And they're both trilogies, so I can get trilogies done a little bit more quicker than I can with longer, what is Throne of Glass, like a 7-book series, and they're both longer books as well. So yeah, this is where I'm gonna leave it. It was a success. I was very, very happy, and it was definitely worth the hype. The hype is what? Oh, that's the word I keep thinking of. Real. The hype is real, and I'm very happy to say that. I really am. I don't want to be one of those people that doesn't think the hype of something that is hyped and beloved for so many people is not real, but this hype is real, and I'm happy about that. I'm gonna continue reading a book that I started not long ago, and I will see you in the next video, I guess. So, goodbye.